The film begins with the venerable wizard Merlin narrating the ageless tale of King Arthur. Following the death of King Uther Pendragon and the absence of an heir, Britain descends into turmoil as aspiring rulers vie for supremacy. Merlin, in a bid to determine the true leader, forges the magical sword Excalibur, a weapon that only the worthy can wield. Many attempts fail until a young boy named Arthur, oblivious to his lineage as Uther's long-lost son, effortlessly extracts the sword from the stone. Arthur rises as a great and benevolent king, converting foes into allies. However, his half-sister Morgana harbors a desire for power and seeks to cast a dark magic over Britain. A fierce battle ensues, culminating in Morgana's banishment to the underworld, where she vows to return in the world's darkest hour. In the present day, we are introduced to 12-year-old Alexander Elliot, who lives with his mother and attends a private school. During the bus journey to school, Alex receives a message from his friend Betters, detailing the harassment he's enduring from the bullies Lance and Kay. Fueled by a strong sense of justice, Alex takes a stand against the bullies, intervening to protect his friend Betters. Despite facing trouble, Alex remains steadfast in his commitment to righting the world's wrongs, driven by the belief that his estranged father would want him to do so. After a confrontation with the bullies, Alex finds himself at a building site, cornered near an edge. In a moment of fate, he falls backward and discovers a sword stuck in a stone. As he pulls it free, a new chapter unfolds, intertwining the timeless legend of King Arthur with the contemporary journey of a young hero discovering his destiny. In the mysterious depths of the underworld, Morgana stirs as she senses the rediscovery of Excalibur. Crafting magical vines, she sets them on a quest to find the current wielder of the legendary sword. Meanwhile, Alex calls upon his friend Betters to investigate the peculiar sword. Translating its inscriptions, they unveil the truth: it is none other than Excalibur. Guided by a book from his father on King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, Alex recognizes Tintagel as the island where Excalibur was created. Inside the book, a heartfelt note from his father reads, "To Alex, my once and future king, Dad." Driven by destiny, Alex decides to take up the sword and, in a moment of profound significance, knights Betters. The wise wizard Merlin, sensing the sword's discovery, adopts a teenage guise and infiltrates Alex's school to get closer to him. Merlin learns from a teacher about an impending eclipse, causing him great concern. Bursting into the cafeteria, he reveals to Alex and Betters the impending return of Morgana during the eclipse, instilling fear in the young friends. That night, a skeletal minion of Morgana's attacks Alex's house, and his mother is nowhere to be found. Excalibur blinks to life, and just as the minion strikes, Merlin intervenes, destroying it. However, being in the mortal realm after sundown proves perilous for Merlin, prompting a hasty retreat in owl form. The next day, Alex and Betters discover Merlin working at a fried chicken shop, where he reveals Morgana's malevolent plans. As the country descends into chaos, hearts grow hollow, and the world reaches its darkest point, the trio embarks on a perilous journey to thwart Morgana's resurgence and safeguard the realm from impending shadows. A pivotal moment occurs when Merlin, revealing his true form, shares a vision of the impending darkness should they fail to confront Morgana in the underworld. Witnessing the dire consequences, Alex understands the gravity of his duty and decides to wield Excalibur once more. Determined to seek guidance from his father, Alex, along with Betters, embarks on a journey to Tintagel. As they return to the building site, encountering the persistent bullies Lance and Kay, Alex challenges them to prove their worth by attempting to pull Excalibur from the stone. When they fail, Alex reassumes the mantle, convincing the bullies to kneel and be knighted. The Mortes Mills, Morgana's sinister army, soon appear, prompting a daring escape. In a moment of unity, the once adversarial group, including Lance and Kay, confronts the minions, leading to a thrilling car chase that ultimately saves the day. The streets return to normal as those who haven't been knighted reappear. Back at Alex's house, he rallies the diverse group to join him on a quest to Tintagel, seeking entrance to the underworld to face Morgana. As Alex, Betters, Lance, Kay, and Merlin embark on their journey to uncover the entrance to the underworld, Morgana observes their vulnerabilities, plotting to exploit each weakness for her gain. Betters' meekness, Lance's greed, Kay's dependency on Lance, and Alex's unwavering trust in Myth become potential instruments in Morgana's sinister plan. Leaving a note for his worried mother, Alex joins the eclectic group on a bus headed to Stonehenge, a significant step toward finding the entrance to the underworld. However, Merlin realizes that Lance and Kay lack knowledge of the chivalric code and the ways of knights. He halts the journey, enlightening them about the noble rules that guide a knight's conduct. The group learns the principles of chivalric code: honor those you love, refrain from wanton offense, speak the truth, and persevere in any enterprise until the end. Continuing their quest, Merlin employs his magical abilities to navigate through Stonehenge, an ancient structure crafted by his own hands. Beyond, he guides the group to train as skilled fighters, using magical creations like tree giants and duplicated swords. Unbeknownst to them, Morgana lurks in the underworld, manipulating dark roots to entrap the children and planting the seeds of greed in Lance's heart, compelling him to seize Excalibur for himself. As Morgana's dark influence takes hold, the group remains oblivious to the looming threat, intensifying their training in preparation for the challenges that lie ahead. As the group faces the perilous influence of Morgana's dark roots, Lance succumbs to greed, allowing them to pull the kids deeper into the earth. Desperate, they call for Merlin, who returns just in time to banish the roots underground. However, using magical power in the mortal realm after sundown weakens Merlin further, forcing him to retreat until sunrise, leaving the group temporarily without his guidance. During Merlin's absence, the dynamics within the group shifted. Lance, driven by a misguided sense of entitlement, proclaims himself a king and challenges Alex for Excalibur. The ensuing struggle results in the sword being broken, and Lance callously discards the shattered pieces into the water. Alex chastises Lance for his actions, prompting Kay to apologize on their behalf, acknowledging that they are shaped by a world tainted with corruption. Amid a swampy landscape, Alex seeks guidance from his book and learns of the Lady of the Lake, capable of restoring Excalibur. Alex bravely calls upon her, and she responds by not only repairing the sword but also imparting it back to him. Lance, realizing his folly, accepts his role as a worthy knight and acknowledges Alex as their future king. Reunited with a renewed sense of purpose and commitment to the chivalric code, the group presses on with their journey. They encounter a group with horses, continuing their expedition until sunset when the entire group vanishes. Excalibur starts blinking, signaling the awakening of the Mortes mills from the underground. As demons pursue them, Alex devises a strategy, leading the group into a forest to slow down the demons. Despite Alex's attempts to fend off the creatures, they eventually find themselves at the edge of a deep valley. Alex urges the group to follow him as they leap into the abyss, landing safely on a rock while the demons plummet into the depths. Their arduous journey finally brings them to Tintagel Island, where the friends spend the night under the open sky, preparing for the challenges that lie ahead. The next day, Alex embarks on a journey to Tintagel alone in search of his father. Following an address provided by his mom, he stumbles upon a house where he encounters his Aunt Sophie. With hopeful anticipation, Alex inquires about his father, envisioning him as the hero his mom portrayed. However, Sophie reveals the painful truth: his father succumbed to alcoholism, abandoning them due to indifference. His mom had attempted reconciliation, bringing Alex along, but his father remained unchanged. Sophie also reveals that the book, a memento, was not a gift from his absent father but a keepsake from his mother. Heartbroken, Alex returns to Betters, feeling a sense of hopelessness. To uplift his spirits, Betters uses a metal duplicating trick learned from Merlin, emphasizing that Alex is not without hope in facing Morgana. Lance, Kay, and Merlin join the group to encourage. Determined to find the entrance to the underworld, they utilize Betters' metal duplicating spell to earn enough coins for armor and supplies. Riding horses, they reach an area leading to the underworld and, with Excalibur's guidance, find a way down. In the underworld, they navigate through a tunnel, contending with dark roots controlled by Morgana. Despite the roots pulling the others upward, Alex manages to escape the tunnel and confronts Morgana directly. In a surprising turn of events, Morgana transforms into a monstrous flying creature, seeking Alex's demise. Realizing a confrontation won't suffice, Alex feigns surrender, cleverly stabbing Excalibur into Morgana's chest. The apparent victory leads to the collapse of the underworld, prompting the heroes to escape before being trapped within its confines. Outside, Lance, Kay, and Betters kneel to honor their future king, acknowledging Alex's victory over Morgana. Alex symbolically returns Excalibur to the Lady of the Lake and returns home, initially believing he has emerged victorious. However, his triumph is short-lived as roots engulf his house, signaling Morgana's survival. The next morning, Alex wakes up to the realization that Morgana is still a threat, and an eclipse is imminent that night. Reflecting on his actions, he recognizes that he failed to uphold the code needed to defeat Morgana, especially in honoring his loved ones. Seeking reconciliation, Alex apologizes to his mother for his anger and misunderstanding. To demonstrate Excalibur's reality, Alex immerses the sword in the bathtub, invoking the Lady of the Lake's presence. She returns Excalibur to him, affirming the authenticity of their quest. As the eclipse approaches, the friends regroup and strategize to face Morgana. With Merlin now able to fight alongside them, they prepare for the impending battle. However, they quickly realize that their current strength is insufficient against Morgana's formidable army. Alex and his friends devise a bold strategy to turn their school into a fortress and rally an army of students against Morgana. With Merlin's magical assistance, they convince the headmistress to gather all the students for a unique lesson in defending against the forces of darkness. Merlin reveals his true identity with magic, and the students, initially skeptical, join the cause after the headmistress confirms the authenticity of the threat. Alex knights the students, and betters, along with Merlin, duplicate armor and weapons to equip the makeshift army. Traps are strategically set up throughout the school to counter Morgana's approaching forces. As the eclipse unfolds, Morgana and her Mortes Mills assemble their army outside the school. The initial clash sees the demons thwarted by cleverly deployed cars and traps. Students, led by Alex, Betters, Lance, and Kay, engage in a fierce battle against the skeleton demons. The school becomes a battleground, with creative and resourceful tactics employed by the students to repel the demonic onslaught. Morgana transforms into a formidable flying creature, unleashing fire upon the students. Quick thinking from the students, using ropes and chairs, manages to subdue Morgana's fiery assault. Despite the increasing odds, the students stand firm, rallying together and coordinating their efforts to resist the demonic forces. Morgana's defeat comes as Alex, guided by the revitalized Merlin, delivers a decisive blow with Excalibur, decapitating the monstrous foe. Her body is dragged into the underworld, leading to the vanquishing of the remaining demons. The school is restored to normalcy, and the eclipse's darkness gives way to the return of light. In the aftermath, Merlin bids farewell to Alex and his friends, recognizing that their paths may cross again in the face of future challenges. Alex, having found new friends and a renewed sense of purpose, throws Excalibur back to the Lady of the Lake, signifying the conclusion of their extraordinary journey and the triumph of unity over darkness.